Hey everybody, Happy New Year, and I hope all of you have had a good Christmas break with your family and friends. It's been a long time since I done an update on here, so I thought I should hop on here and just have a little chat and let you know what's been happening, what's coming up in 2022 on this channel. We've had some really cold weather in the last few weeks in this region of North America. It's very unusual for us to get that much snow. Well, we had a white Christmas, which is great, but you know what? I'm kind of done shoveling snow now. It's supposed to warm up next week, which is kind of nice. The weather will become more tolerable for fishing. But during that cold snap we had between Christmas and New Year, it did get cold enough for us to get on the ice safely. So Nina and I actually went out to one of the local lakes nearby, and we decided to do some ice fishing. Yeah, it's pretty thick. We have had exceptionally cold weather here in the Fraser Valley, so we're doing some ice fishing for the very first time ever, for me anyways, in this area. For quite a while we were wondering, well, if the ice is going to be safe, and I think it is quite safe. So what you need for safe ice to work on, it's 4 inches thick, and that is plenty right here, 10 centimeters. And the other thing to look for is that, see how clear this ice is? When the ice is really clear, that means it's very solid. It's fresh ice, and it doesn't break very easily. So right below me is 35 feet deep. It's a little deeper than I wanted. Typically when you're ice fishing you want to go a little shallower. I can see the slope, it's a pretty steep slope, so it does drop off pretty fast. So I'm going to drill a couple more holes towards the shallow end and see if we can find some fish before we start fishing. Using seagull fluorocarbon, 6 pound. The fish are not, I don't think they're going to be very big. I mean, a pound maybe, 2 pounds. So we marked 2 fish on the sounder so far in the first 10 minutes actually, so that's kind of a good sign. I kind of want to set up the tent. So we actually didn't fish very long. We probably spent about 3 or 4 hours on the ice. Once we found the fish, we set up the tent, and we did get into quite a few fish. Oh, see that? Down on the bottom. Whoa, there's 2. There's 2. There's 3. Whole bunch of them come up. Yeah, so one of us is gonna get a bite now, I think. Damn it. Yeah, it's still there. It's right on the bottom. Oh, this one.
Oh, good job.
We got one.
Are we gonna keep it?
No.
Why not? Eat that?
Fraser Valley rainbow trout. Oh, you had a fish on.
It's on now. Oh, hold it.
Shit. It was nice for me to kind of test out all of my my ice fishing gear. I got some new gears that I'm going to be testing out in the next few weeks. I do have some ice fishing trips planned in the next near future, and you can expect to see some of those episodes coming up as well, so stay tuned. So let's talk about last year. I ended up producing about 40 episodes last year, which is about the same as previous years, despite of all the challenges. A lot happened last year. So we had COVID, travel restrictions because of COVID, which prevented me from going to a lot of my projects. And then that was followed by some exceptionally hot weather in June and wildfire throughout the summer. And that canceled pretty much all of my trips which was really disappointing. And then we had some really just pretty disastrous flooding in November and December, and people are still recovering from that. So there were a lot of personal and professional setbacks, and but I'm not going to get into it simply because this is still a great job. We're in a very privileged situation here that I can still do this, so there's really not a whole lot I can complain about. And you are here to watch these videos to be entertained and educated, and we'll just stick with that. And I promise you, in 2022, I do have many episodes planned out, starting with some ice fishing, and hopefully, I haven't done the trips yet, but hopefully I'll be catching some nice fish. And hopefully we'll be doing some winter steelhead fishing. I have some kayak fishing episodes coming out from last year's trip. Kitty and I went back to Kayak Sound, and I have a really exciting salmon trolling episodes that I'm really looking forward to show you guys in February. And we got some pretty intense rockfish fishing footage I want to show you, some halibut jigging as well, and some salmon fishing with live squid again. So stay tuned for that. That's all coming up in February and March. And I do have some trips planned out after that too, but I'm not going to talk about that simply because they're pretty tentative. It totally depends on what's going to happen. We still have highway closures in this region. We still have COVID going on, so everything is still very uncertain. And but I'm doing my best to kind of navigate through all these challenges to get the trips done, so you guys have more videos to watch. Anyway, so enough of that. I just want to mention that we finished 2021 on a pretty good note. If you go back several videos back before this one, I made an announcement that I was going to do an auction to raise some money for two, river stewardship groups, and we did that for auctioning off 2 islander reels. So I raised $685 for the High Creek Watershed Society in Coquitlam. So I'm actually here to give you this this check right here. So this is the amount of money we raised last week through an auction.
Oh,
so I had a fishing reel, so we auctioned that off. And that's the money we're gonna donate to the society. Yeah. And a couple other people actually donated through the email e-transfer as well.
Gosh.
Yeah, so that's
this
good.
is, Shane is just dancing around, I know.
Yeah, last time we talked about the whole, how much it takes to run this place, right? And so I thought, well, we can help out a little bit. It's
that's a big,
yeah.
That's a big.
Yeah.
Well, when you think, generally it's about somewhere between $10,000 and $12,000 a year
Mm-hmm.
to operate.
Yep.
And we always count on April gives us $5,000.
Yep.
And then there's other things that come in, and but this is a big chunk of our
Okay. Good.
towards our yearly
I'm
budget.
glad.
My
Yeah.
goodness, that's
Yeah.
a big section. So
Yeah. Great. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? $12,000 a year. It's not a whole lot of money, but it's a lot of money for a non-profit group. But we should be able to somehow provide that, through the community, right?
Yeah.
So.
And we always come through. We might be down a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and we're up a couple of thousand, and that's always a bonus time.
Yeah.
And if we desperately need something, then we generally fundraise.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then that works out too.
Yeah. Yeah. And I thought something like that would, take the stress off. Nobody wants to spend time to do fun. I've done fundraising before, so I know
it's not a nice.
it's not fun, right? Especially raising money for someone, for the group.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it just takes the time away from doing what you should be doing.
Yeah.
So hopefully this helps. For the other reel, we raised $780, and that's going to the Spruce City Wildlife Society up in Prince George. So I'll be writing a check to them very, very, very soon. And what I'm hoping to do actually is later this fall in September, I'm hoping to do the trip finally, because I've been asked so many times, going up to Prince George to visit the group and just spend a day with them to check out their work, to kind of highlight all the effort that they're doing to preserve the Upper Fraser Chinook salmon. So I'm really excited about that, if that can happen. In the last 2 videos, I've been putting a lot some YouTube shorts. So YouTube has started this new feature, kind of similar to Instagram Reels and TikTok, is to limit the videos to 1 minute long, and it's hopefully that kind of will broaden the audience a little bit. I'll be putting these short videos up once a while. The somewhat casual, somewhat informal, and somewhat fun as well, just like the last one. Maybe a little bit behind the scenes stuff, maybe some educational stuff as well, because that's what this channel is all about. So, but you'll see. You let me know what you want to see in the comments, and then I'll make them. Speaking of education, one of the things I will continue be doing this year is to produce educational videos on behind the scene fishery work, such as at the hatchery, or even going out looking at spawning salmon, looking at a particular fish species so you can learn more about it, learn more about its biology. This is my passion. I love fishing, but it is my passion to kind of educate and inspire all of you to learn more about fish and how we can protect them through the fun of fishing. It's all good that all of you are getting out and doing some fishing, enjoying the fishing. We got lots around in British Columbia, or even just around anywhere really. But we got to do something to give it back as well, to balance off that the impact that we have on these fish. Even if you're just going out and catch and release fish, some people say, well, we get out and we only catch and release fish, full of fish. It's good for the fish, but no, you're still utilizing resources. You still have the impact on these fish, and it is important for all of us to give something back. Whether it's going to a hatchery to volunteer once a month, or do a river cleanup to pick up all the plastic debris at the rivers so it doesn't get washed into the ocean, to count spawning salmon because we need more data. That's also very, very helpful. To teach other anglers on fish etiquettes and good catch and release practices. Become an advocate for these fish, because these fish don't have a voice. Talk to your politicians when important problems or important challenges that need to be fixed come up. It's every little bit counts, and I attend a lot of, besides making these videos, I attend a lot of conferences and meetings on fisheries, and over again in the last few years, the take-home message has always been the same, is that the environment is changing pretty rapidly, and sometimes too fast for these fish to adapt to the new environment. And at the same time, if we're putting a lot of our pressure on these fish as well, they're not gonna have a chance. So it is important for us to better the environment ourselves to help these fish out, so they can adapt to this new environment. Just look at last year. We had wildfire, we had flooding, we had we lost a lot of fish. So it is important to give something back. So it's a good investment, so we can have fish to catch in the future, right? One thing that I started doing last year was collaborating with a couple of the local First Nation groups, and particularly the Sumas First Nations, which I have been really honored to work with them throughout last year. Not only I want to figure out how we can utilize the resource together correctly, I also want to figure out how we can work together to bring more fish back and to improve all the environment around us. One of the highlights I haven't shown in any of the videos, well, I shown a little bit of it, was that I was invited to the salmon ceremony back in July, and that was quite special. My knowledge on the Canadian First Nation culture is still very, very little, so it's really important for me to kind of submerge myself in that environment to learn more about it if I want to kind of make things better. I produce video content for a living, and it's a fantastic job, I feel great to be able to do this, to provide for my family. But at the same time, I feel that, all of us, we're so focused on getting financially well off for our kids for the future. If the environment isn't going to be very desirable to be living in 20, 30, 40 years from now, this state of financially well off really becomes pretty useless for our kids if that is the case. So I feel that, while doing this, we need to always give something back. So I hope all of you will join me, and to kind of make an effort, and hopefully we can make some positive changes in 2022. Anyways, I won't say too much more about it. I'm sure you've heard enough. I just want to say thank you as well, and thank you for supporting. Thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for commenting on the bottom. Thank you for sending in the private messages, for the encouragement. I really appreciate it. Without your support, these videos actually would not happen. So really thank you for keep doing that. And by doing so, I hope that I can keep producing quality video content for you to watch, and I hope you can you can learn from this as well. And so this has been a great journey so far. I've been doing this for over 10 years now, and I hope to do it for another 10, 20 years. And so let's get going. Expect some new videos coming up, and I look forward to chat with all of you again soon. So until next time, good luck fishing.